What is up, and welcome to Twin Dragon Podcast Show. We're your hosts. My name is Mike.
And I'm Bobby. The show will be about two young working professionals going through the craziness of life. We'll have fun conversations about current events and what's happening in our lives. So why do you want to know more?
Well, if you're bored at home, eating, or just chilling, and want to listen to something new, you've come to the right place. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Twin Dragon Podcast, and today we're going to be talking about probably a pretty, relevant and I guess somewhat interesting topic, hopefully. We're talking a little bit about college. So
It's always a long process to do.
yes, indeed. With the essays, the letters, the what are we supposed to do? How does this all work? We're going to give you a little bit, just share a little bit about the process that we went through, and also, give you guys a little bit of a preview of kind of what college was like for us.
Yeah.
And and also we'd be interested in hearing sort of how the process went for you, and also if you're in college, what's it like, how was it as what you expected, and for those of you who are, applying or not yet in college, what do you think college is like? We'd be interested in hearing your thoughts, and just leave a comment and share your thoughts with us. And I guess we're gonna start kicking it off with a question to Bobby here. What was the process like for you?
I think looking back, I think the process was kind of very long and very tedious. Because there's a lot of signatures, a lot of documents I had to submit, in terms of applications and just even applying for financial aid. That was kind of a hassle. But I'm glad that I had different resources and people to help me.
You gotta apply for that free money.
Yeah. But I think in terms of applying for college, it was somewhat of a hassle because I had to write essays and then submit any SATs.
There's a lot of writing involved, guys.
Yeah. Any documents scores, writings, letters of recommendations to submit. And I applied to I think 4 different colleges. And in terms of financial aid, it took me a while because my parents didn't understand what that meant for financial aid and why they had to assign things even though I was going to college.
Yeah, the process is probably pretty confusing for pretty much everyone because they make it so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not complicated for some of you guys, but I think for us it was also pretty complicated. I had no real plan. People have a strategy of applying to colleges sometimes.
They had a strategy?
I've heard people from the community of hardcore Asians. Man, they got some gunners, dog. Kids be going to Ivy Leagues, easy money, and I'm just here what? They know how to game the system. I bet some people know how to game the system. But for me, I went in blind. I knew I had to get a letter of recommendation. Always hard to find someone to write a good recommendation letter, because I didn't try hard in high school. Wasn't so involved, be that teacher's pet, be answering questions, getting involved in extracurricular activities, someone here.
But wait. So what did you actually do in high school then?
I stayed up really late for no reason and woke up early and drove to school because I was one of the lucky few who can drive to school. And
so you were popular because you drove to school?
No. It wasn't like that. It was more my parents didn't really want to wake up and send me, so they're go to school yourself. And then every class that I could sleep in, I took a nap basically.
Oh wow.
Put my head down and be lights out, teach.
So did you listen? Did you study?
Heck no, boy. Until mostly a lot of teachers weren't that great, to be honest.
So you were a bad Asian.
I was a bad Asian. So it was hard to be hey, teach, can you write me a letter of recommendation saying that this is a good kid?
He's a great sleeper.
I remember distinctly that I was taking chemistry, and it was the class right before lunch. I would eat my lunch in the beginning of class, just open my lunch can and just start eating. and then put my head down and go to sleep after I was done.
What the?
And I still did great in that class.
And you still went to UT.
That's right. But anyways, aside from that, yeah, like Bobby said, there's a lot of essays, guys. For those of you who've been through the process, y'all know what we're talking about. But for those of you who are going through the process or will be, just letting you guys know that there's a lot of essays. So, be prepared. And yeah, that's pretty much my process. Really just kind of like check the box, no real plan, do what you need to do, put a little effort into like Google. Google's your best friend, guys.
Yeah. I think for me it was somewhat not of a challenge to fill out the application. I think time-wise, yes, but I think because I was involved in school, I was class president, vice president the following year.
Try
Still
hard.
cool. No. I was not a try hard.
Popular
It was
kid,
just
popular
things
kid
that I
here.
wanted to do.
He want to be popular, guys.
Anyways, I did track, cross country. I was, I volunteered for different things in school as well. I just tried to be involved as much as possible with not really seeing that it would actually benefit me at the end. And I think I did do I guess volunteering outside of school as well that I guess in a way I had to do for my magnet program, which was a health profession.
So his resume was long.
Yeah, it was pretty long. But yeah, I think after that, it wasn't hard for me to get recommendation letters because I guess in a way I had somewhat relationships with my teachers. They helped a lot. I really was fond of them because I think some of their stories was also pretty cool. Some of them were in our shoes and they were going through struggles, and we get to hear that. And wait, for me, it was like, wow, these people had a life and they were able to make it.
So it sounds like everything was smooth sailing for the most part. So what was actually difficult for you?
The difficult part was seeing if I guess, I don't know. I think just getting all the documents on time. I think I was somewhat slacking on that part because, I was busy with work and then I was busy with my own life outside of school.
Busy being, popular,
It's
gotta
not
run
that.
the student body, be like, prom and all that.
Yeah, that's right. I think, just making sure that I had everything and that everything was okay. Because I think in terms of getting documents from my parents, I think that was probably the hardest because, I think for me, they were, off and on and, in terms of the relationship, and then, having, I guess, documents in terms of the income was also hard to get all in,
Yeah, I think there's application fees or something, right, for applying to college?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember
I
either.
think there were some waivers, you can get some for free. I'm not sure if it's like that anymore, but yeah, I think some of them were waived, and so I think that's why I only applied to 4 colleges.
Yeah, you guys should check that out to see if you can get the application fee waived if you qualify and figure out how to do it. Yeah. But for me, what was hard was, like I said, sleeping in class ain't gonna get you good rec letters. So it was hard to, find teachers that can write a decent letter for me.
Which ones were they?
I was scratching my head, who should I ask actually that can, write an okay letter? I only remember asked my bio teacher for a rec letter, but it was probably super generic because she didn't even know me that well. And then I don't even remember I remember now, the U.S. history teacher. She was like a grandma, so she was super nice, so I'm assuming it was okay. So yeah, pretty much that. So what would you have done differently looking back?
I think some of the things that I would have done differently was taking some classes more seriously. I know I had taken a lot of AP courses.
Dang, smart cookie here.
I passed the classes, but I didn't pass the AP test, so I didn't get any of that credit.
Wait. Passing an AP test, did you get a 3 or above?
I don't remember.
Well, 3 was passing, and anything above that is great. You get credit. But anything below a 3, I think, was not passing. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I forgot. It's been a couple of years since then.
Yeah, I think if I were taking those seriously, I could have done. I think gone faster in college and just got things planned out way better. I think
Yeah, so try hard in class, guys, especially if it's an AP course. You never know, you might get some college credit.
yeah, and I think just also probably like they were also giving actual college courses in high school. I think in terms of like relating it to UT, they were offering it in the high school setting. So I was like, oh man, I should have done that.
Yeah, quick side note, UT is the university we both went to, so when you hear us say that, it's basically our school name.
And probably study harder in high school. I think I kind of did the bare minimum, listened in class, did my homework, try to just understand, and that was pretty much it. But I didn't try to like, I guess, advance in my understanding or listening better. I don't know. Probably be a better test taker. I think that was probably something that I wanted to do better.
Yeah, but you were like hustling with like jobs and like hustling with like, working that social network in your school, trying to be that prom king,
It
popularity
didn't work out.
contests.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, but you were doing a lot of other things
Yeah.
besides like school, so it's fair. I guess like for what I would have done differently, I would have actually get more involved. Like this guy here, he was like involved in all these different things, and I kind of just did the bare minimum of like also just academics, like doing well in class, taking AP classes, which all you guys should try to do, if you can, and yeah, and then just playing violin, and wasn't really doing anything else. Didn't get involved with clubs. Tried to get into the tennis team, but they were like, "Oh, you're like a junior already, so not interested or something." I don't even know.
What?
Yeah, it was weird. And then like,
They probably just wanted fresh people.
yeah, they wanted fresh people. They're like, "You old," and like, yeah, there was like peer pressure of like people like not like how you say it, like they don't like my group of people that I knew were always doing things that they were already good at, but they didn't kind of go out of their way to do things that they weren't good at or was non-traditional, not so academic, or maybe like,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't like explore what I could have been interested in. I was just being lazy and do what I needed to do and then go home and play video games or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it would have been nice to do more of that. But, you know, looking back, would I do it over again? Probably yes. I mean, obviously, I would probably apply to college and stuff. I don't think I would be the type of person who can just make it on their own without some sort of structure. But would I do it differently? For sure, like what I said before. But would you do it all over again?
I probably would.
Really?
Yeah. I
Why do
think
you say that?
because with all the things that I did, it wouldn't have been fun in high school, and then without applying, I wouldn't have I guess, fun experience after high school. Because college was kind of fun for me.
Party. Hmm. Well, I'm sure a lot of people on our who are listening in know that there's this big test that, all high school kids, at least in America, have to take to apply to college, and that's the beast called the SAT, which I don't know what it stands for at all. Some standardized
Test.
assessment test, maybe, something like that. And so, how did you prepare for that beast?
I didn't prepare.
So you went YOLO.
I did went YOLO. I think for me, I didn't know you were supposed to study that hard, and I just thought like, oh, I can do this,
You're just like, oh, I just need to take this test, walk in, and be like, all right, done.
Basically. And I did go to one prep course in high school, but at the same time, I was like, man, this is so boring. Like,
Wasn't it like a day or something?
yeah, it was a day.
That was not no prep course.
I know.
It was like a prep.
It was
day or
hosted by
something.
our high school, and so I was like, okay, I might as well go. And I just thought like, this is kind of basic, you know,
This is kind of basic.
and I was like, I kind of already know what all this is, you know, this is what they've been teaching us in class.
Dang.
And so, you know, just like, I'm not going to be coming here no more. And I took the test and I did really well, or did just average, you know. And then I took,
Dang, look at the smart cookie here. Be like, I don't need no prep. I'll just go walk in and take this test, and you know, I did all right.
basically, and then I went to try to do a second one, and I didn't do so well. So I just kept the first score.
Dang.
And that was pretty much it. But that was my experience. What about yours?
I did a prep course too with a bunch of like gung ho or hardcore Asians, and like, I didn't think the prep course helped that much. Honestly, the best way to do to prepare for a test, at least for me, because I'm not like an amazing test taker, contrary to popular belief, is that you just really do a lot of practice questions, and then you get more and more familiar about how the question, or like how, what is the question asking you, and how it's like phrased, and like how do they trick you, you know, just get a really good feel for like just the test in general, the more practice question you do. And then, you know, honestly, testing is like a skill that you just practice over and over again. And if you didn't know how to, if you didn't know something, you just Google it and learn it, and that's that. At least that's probably what I would have done, or I would do now if I had to take the SAT.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think they changed the exam a lot since we took it. Like, there was like a writing section before, an essay. Now it's just like reading and math, from what I know.
That's easier a little bit.
It is a lot easier, and like the grading's a little
Wait,
different.
so there's no writing?
There's no writing, so like basically apparently, you know, writing isn't important anymore, guys. And like,
Apparently.
and it's like, you know, they're probably just gonna like evaluate your writing skills based on the essays you write for in the application. They also did away with like the other tests, like subject tests. I don't know if you ever took a subject test, SAT subject test.
I don't remember.
Well, I used to take one and took some of them, but they were pretty pointless, so I'm glad they did away with that. So, moving along, other important things to consider in the application besides like the letter of recommendation, the essays, which are like the personal statement, you know, resume, like what you actually did in high school. There are a couple more things that I think our audience should be aware of, and that's the PSAT, which I also don't know what it stands for.
I don't remember Ashford taking that either.
Did you even take it?
I don't remember.
He went through high school like a blur. It's like,
It was a blur.
it's like what was that? It's like, I don't remember. It's like foggy. But I remember the PSAT. So PSAT, usually people in America in high school take it in their second year, and it's kind of like a mini SAT, and they use it to, I guess, I don't know, screen people to say if they're smart or something. I don't know. And if you do well on it, you make like merit, which is like you pass like a certain cutoff in your state, and that helps you get what you might call it, better financial aid, like or scholarship. I think that's one of the criteria that they use to see who they're gonna award scholarship money to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least that was the case when we were applying, or when I was applying. So I don't know if that's.
I should have done better as well with that too.
I think everyone can take it, and I actually didn't even make merit, or like, and then there's like a tier below that where you didn't quite make the cutoff, but you're still pretty high, and it's like commended or something. I didn't even make that, and I distinctly remember in English class in my last year in high school, the English teacher was like super nosy. She was like this like old grandma lady, like Southern Belle, and like you could tell she came from like a wealthy family, and she'd be like not really teaching us English. She's just like, you know, our school was like, they take pictures of people who made merit or commended, and I didn't get called or go to take pictures, and she knows I'm Asian, and she was like, oh my gosh, Mike, you didn't make merit or commended? I was like, what? Why are you all up in my business, teach?
What the heck?
I know, right? And then my friend was like laughing, and every time like like they were talking about this because it was like multiple times. I don't know why. And then he was just like nudged me in the elbow, and because our English teacher just like goes against, like acting like she's shocked or surprised at, and making us like, can you give it a rest?
Yeah.
And it's like, seriously, bro. Yeah, that was an interesting experience. So be on the lookout for that and try to do well on that, because if you do well on that, it gives you a leg up and hopefully give you some, free money once you get accepted. And then another thing to keep in mind of is your GPA in high school, which is your grade point average, or basically, you know, every class you take, you get like a A, B, C, or D, and they have point system, and then they average it together, and then the higher the your point average is, the better it shows that you did in school, and that translates to your class ranking. The higher your GPA, the higher your ranking. And so I remember my class rank. I don't know about you.
I did remember.
I was ranked when I graduated high school. I was like 18.
18%?
No, 18 rank.
Oh, dang.
And then like I think it moved up from like 20 or something before when I was applying to college. Because a lot of people stop trying after they submit their college apps, and it's like, oh, it's already in, so it doesn't even matter. So I'm just gonna tank the rest of my grades.
Same.
Yep. That thing in the second semester of your last year is called senioritis. I'm sure some of our listeners know what that is. Where it's where like apps are in, I'm done, time to coast and just not try anymore.
Yeah.
It's the best time.
I think mine started the beginning of senior year.
Wow, when
I skipped so much.
When the apps weren't even in yet.
Yeah.
This guy was like, I'm done, basically.
Basically.
Yeah, so I think for Texas, it's like top 6% of your class. If you're in the top 6%, you are guaranteed in or something like that for UT.
Yeah, I think it keeps getting lower and lower every year.
The number gets lower and lower because,
So everybody wants to go.
Everybody wants to go. More people are going to college, possibly, but I don't think that's actually true. I'm not sure. Maybe things are just becoming more competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for like things to be on the lookout. Any last minute advice or last whatever, how do you say it? Last like
Any tips?
any tips
I
for
think,
the audience?
I think for the GPA, yeah, I think take that seriously. Even though you're not in, AP classes, doesn't mean that your GPA doesn't matter. I was in AP and regular classes. I was in regular classes at the beginning of my high school years, and I still took that seriously, and that really helped boost me up to like a better GPA. And yeah, I think overall, I think that's important, because even though I didn't know that, I would need this GPA my freshman and sophomore year, I think at the end of sophomore year, I knew that how important that was. And I was like, okay, game on. And then that ended up making me, top 15%, not 15, ranked 15, and then top 8%.
Dang, bro, he ranked above me. Smart cookie here, like I said.
Yeah, I think just whatever you want to do, just make sure that you take it seriously. I think something that I told once, like to a mentee that I, mentored while I was in college, I mentored a high school student, and I just told him like, yeah, everything that you do, it does affect you much later on in life. And I think, yeah, those high school courses do affect you later in life, especially if you want to go to college. Like I said, I would have taken AP classes more seriously, especially that last AP test. So yeah, I think, yeah, just take things seriously.
Basically, pay attention in class and try to do well in them. Yeah, I think what I would say is don't stress. I think, you want to try to shoot for, a good college if you can, but if not, it's not like the end of the world. And, once you go into college, the whole game system kind of starts over again. You got to do well in class. You're you're in college now. Everybody else is probably smart too, because they got into college, and so just do what you need to do. And don't slack off. And But when you can also, take a break, and enjoy college and stuff like that, and be persistent and keep trying. If you didn't do well the first time in class or whatnot, or maybe you didn't get in the first time. If you want to go to college, there's always another application cycle. But speaking of which, chilling and stuff, what can our audience expect once they get into college? What is college like?
Man, that's a whole different experience. I think once you get in, that's like a lot of pressure off. I think just a lot of excitement. I know I was really excited. I think so many people I ran into after I graduated high school. They kept telling me like, wow, it's gonna be fun. You're even the doctor who gave me my, what do they call it? Some kind of shot before you go to college.
Some kind of what?
Some kind of shot. They give you a shot before you go to college.
Who does that?
It's recommended.
What? A shot?
Yeah, a shot.
Oh, a shot. I'm thinking about alcohol.
No, a medical shot.
Oh, it's probably like that meningitis shot.
Yeah, the meningitis shot.
Meningococcal or whatever thing.
Yeah, even the doctor told me, he's like, oh, you're going to college. He's like, yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun at UT. I was like, okay.
It's a party school, that's why.
But yeah, I think, are we talking pre going into college or in college?
Whatever floats your boat, bro.
Once you're in college, you just feel really free. I think just in terms of like, what classes you want to take, of course, in terms of what you want to major in and what career path you want to go towards. Yeah, I think I just want to start off with that. Like you do end up having that freedom. I think a lot of people ask for or wanting for when I guess they graduate from high school. I know that for me, it was, I think, somewhat of a pleasure to have, even though I had a lot of freedom. But it was just more freedom when I didn't know a lot of people, so I could make new friends, I don't know, just I had a new home to start.
You ain't living with your parents. Your parents aren't with you all the time. So definitely a lot more freedom. I think everyone is gonna have a different experience in college, depending on what they want to do or get involved with. I think for me, like, I said before, I was a pre-med going in. Basically, I'm on I guess the route to get into medical school. So, I was picking, a very basic major that a lot of people do, which is like biochemistry, and just taking the classes necessary to apply to medical school. And so that was kind of obvious, like what I needed to do. But college is really big, right? Like there's so many people, so many different people, so many different clubs, so many different sports, so many things you can do. Nobody's like telling you need to go to class anymore. That's a big difference. So you don't even have to show up for class, except sometimes they do take attendance. But like those big classes, nope. And like you're basically like also there's like no homework, like not that much homework or assignments. Like your grade is basically just like 3 tests the whole semester.
Yeah, I would say depending on the class, for sure.
Yeah, most classes are kind of like that. Generally, I don't know, the big ones. And so you're really kind of just left on your own, and like how you manage your time and what you do and study, because no one's like watching over you and like it's like, hey, did you do that? Hey, did you do this? Like your parents, like when you're in, I don't know, high school or middle
Or
school.
do you just like in general your professors won't lecture you, hey, I didn't see you didn't turn your homework, or you didn't see you do your readings.
Yep.
Why didn't you do your readings?
They'll be like, didn't turn it in, 0. Next.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think for me at least, college was kind of stressful. I think I was always caught up on like, oh, I need to do well in all my classes because I needed to get an A so that my GPA is high enough for my medical school application. And so that was kind of like always on my mind. It's like, oh, I need to study, oh, I need to do that. And it was like a damper to sort of like how much I can do and have fun, which is kind of sad in a way, but I think it's kind of like the sacrifice you have to make, or something you have to learn to balance between, oh, how much do I need to study and how much can I do, and will I be able to do well in the class and such. So you just kind of have to like find that balance as you know go through uh, college. But there were definitely moments where I had fun and chilled and relaxed. But looking back, I did see I study a lot. But this is where AP credits come in handy, where you get college credit as we were saying earlier, and you get credit, so that means you don't have to take a class for your major, and that saves you time and money, which means you can move quicker through
That's true.
the I guess your degree path, so to speak.
Basically, you just kind of cover I guess, the basic courses, Texas government or just
Yeah, like
language,
the courses that
English.
everyone have to take, and you're just like, nah, fam, I'm done with that. Moving, it's like you're skipping grades, like you
Yeah.
skipped a grade because you're like, you go,
You just get ahead.
you
Yeah,
get
you just
ahead
get ahead.
basically, and there are perks to that, because every time you register, the more seniority you have, the earlier you register, which means the easier you have to picking the classes you need and want at a good time.
That is true.
So there are no 8 a.m. classes where you can be like your first class is like at 10 a.m. or 11, and you just be like, what's up, dog? I just got up, and just be like, wow, it's like I got so much sleep, get to sleep in, and now class starts.
Yeah, I think that's the benefit. Because, like, at the end, those are, like, overpriced classes, basically, that you can take somewhere else.
Yep.
Like a community college and get a better grade and for a cheaper price. Or you could just, done them in high school and they were free, basically.
Yeah, basically they were free in high school. It's like, why would you not, you know, take advantage of that and save money, save your parents money, and save you money if you're, gonna have to pay college for yourself. Yeah. How was college for you? I was talking a little bit about myself. What about you, Bobby? How was college like?
I think college was really fun. I think orientation was fun. Freshman year was fun.
Can't say the same, man.
I think I went in a mindset.
Orientation was boring.
What? It was the best time ever.
What did you do?
I think I went in a mindset of like, when I'm there, I'm gonna try to find a frat party, and
Get wasted.
I didn't get wasted,
But you went
but
to a lot of parties.
I found the party, and
The parties you know.
yeah, it was pretty. I'm not saying that people should go party when they go to college, but I'm just saying through my experience, it was fun, because it was the group of people that I normally hang out with. I met
what is
and we
that?
went.
And who are they?
I think I would associate with people with like who are wanting to have fun. They didn't do anything crazy, but not. And I didn't really talk to them afterwards, but I just hung out with them because we ended up wanting to do the same thing.
Party hard.
And I think when I started college, I think that was kind of also the same mindset. You end up making friends who I think the things that you have interest with, and I found those friends. But I think my interests started changing. I think much later after that, after freshman year. But I think overall, college overall was fun. Yes, it was challenging in terms of doing all the courses and studying and tests and repeating courses again because I was a bad student.
Oh yeah, college is a little bit harder than high school.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, they don't like spoon feed you the knowledge. Like you actually kind of have to like learn and understand it yourself because the teacher or professor isn't paid to actually teach you and teach you well. They're teaching because they're required to for their job, so they can do a bad job, and they're like, whatever, this is not my priority to teach you guys this, it's just something I have to do. And so you sometimes have to learn it yourself, and nobody's going to make sure you understand it before the tests. Like, you're responsible for that.
Yeah, I think just just in general, just try your best. Don't stress too much. Don't take overload your classes.
There's always like study hall and like TAs, which are like teacher's assistant, that like hold like office hours to help tutor you and like give you advice or explain things that you didn't get the first time in class.
Yeah. I think those were more helpful because they've experienced the same thing that you're going through or kind of are. Because TAs are usually grad students.
Smarter, wiser.
Yeah. But yeah, I think in general, I think if you can't really understand things, do find the help. That's what something I learned, and it really helped find
No,
people who are able to understand and are willing to help you.
no shame in looking for help.
Yeah, I've had several classes where I really needed help.
Yeah, me too. There are some classes that were like, "What is going on?" It's like, man, this is difficult. No shame in that. Anything else that we want our audience to know about our college experience or college apps?
Well, I think for me, I went in with the mindset of wanting to pursue a degree in nursing, but I ended up coming out with a degree of human development. It was something that I did.
What is human development?
Well, human development.
How humans develop?
It's kind of it's way broader than that, I guess. Yes, you learn about development of human, but you also learn about psychology, relationships, and stuff like that. But there's different courses or course lines you can take, and depending on what you really want to study. But that's what I ended up learning. I know a lot of people went into pre med with that kind of degree because
Interesting.
you end up relating to people better.
I have never seen anybody major that in med school.
Well, they weren't from Texas.
All right.
But I think just be open to just different career options that you might want to take, especially be open to other courses. I knew I took nutrition, psychology. I really love psychology. Just never knew how well I would have done and just the career paths. I think if I was to, I think, invest more time or just knew that I had a knack of in psychology, I would pursue that better. Um,
Yeah, I think one thing is that you don't have to apply when you apply to college. You don't have to know like exactly what you want to do and like, oh, I picked this major and for sure I'm gonna do it. You can apply to college saying that you're undeclared, meaning you don't know what major you want, and you also don't have to decide on a major until the end of your second year in college. So you have plenty of time to sort of explore and see what you're actually interested in, and also I think figure out like what can I do with that degree. Like you don't want to major in something that you one don't like and two don't know what to do with, or three like it's not gonna support you too, or you don't know how it will support you. So those are also things that would be wise to consider when picking a major.
yeah, I think that for me that was something challenging because having to switch a degree was like I think I would have not that I would have done that, and I felt I guess in a way lost because you know I went in with just wanting to do something and I ended up doing something else and that wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah, but I think it's always nice still to like like even if it takes a little extra time. Again, that's why AP credits help. So, you can jump ahead a little bit and save yourself some time with the core stuff and just explore more time to explore and figure out what you want to do and, what is it all about actually and take more courses. Yeah, what was I? Mm, I think what I wanted to say, I guess, is yeah, kind of like what Bobby was saying, just like exploring and just figuring out what it is that you wanted to do, and also going back and forth. I don't think it was that big of a deal if you need to take the time. I think for me, I just kind of like jumped in, oh, because, biochem, pre-med, the norm, and also like, my dad was like pre-biochem, so I was like, all right, we're just gonna do that then. Like, I didn't really like think. I just kind of like went with it automatic and just like stuck with it. And I think also for any of you guys who are thinking about doing the pre-med route or are in it, it doesn't really matter what you major for medical school in the U.S. It's like as long as you take the required courses to apply to medical school, they don't care what you major in. So you can major in like whatever you're interested in. And I totally recommend you do that because you probably have more enjoyment in, learning about the thing you're interested in and taking those courses as opposed to, you know, majoring in something like biology or biochem, which you will have to learn again in med school anyways. So why not study something else that you could and won't ever like be able to learn about in med school. So yeah. Well, I hope that all that information was helpful for you guys. Let us know in the comments below of like, what your experience of applying to college was like, and what was it and how was it, and also tell us about your experience in college. And for those of you who haven't gone to college yet, let us know, what are your expectations, what do you expect college to be like or hope college would be like, because we're definitely interested in reading and hearing from you guys as well.
Yeah, and I think just to let you know, we don't know what platform as of now what we're using because we're recording. We don't have a platform yet in terms of like where the podcast will be going. So if there is a comment section, comment, and if there's not, then go to one of our social medias that does post. I guess the episode, and you can comment there. Hopefully that can help. But yeah, we do say comment and subscribe below or something. Hopefully it's like YouTube.
Hopefully it's YouTube, but if not, still comment however you can because we'd love to hear you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks again for listening and tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Thank you again, guys, for listening to the Twin Dragons podcast. If you guys want to know more about a topic or want us to do a specific video, let us know in the comments below.
And please like and subscribe if you want to help support us. Keep a lookout on our social media accounts so that you can keep up to date with any new episodes that come out and get connected. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.